Okay.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Hi. First, we'll start with Neil and ask, when you were brought on to do Optimus Prime on Robots in Disguise, or
Yes.
rather, before you were brought on, what was the process
You mean
like?
the original Robots in Disguise?
Yes. The original Robots in
Now
Disguise.
that
Yes,
they're making
yes.
another one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
OGR.
adaptation of car robots from Japan.
Oh, well, that didn't help. But
Yeah.
anyway.
Anyway, what was the process like, and how much information were you given about what you would be doing?
0.
Okay, I guess that was an easy question to answer then.
Well, no, because here's the thing. I didn't audition for Optimus Prime.
Oh.
Yeah. I always love when people haven't seen this video on YouTube. I went in and I auditioned for Slapper and Gas Skunk, two of the lower level flunky villains, which I play a lot of lower level flunky villains a lot, and I'm good with that. But I also read for a character called X-Brawn. And X-Brawn was a Southern SUV. And my thought process was basically, well, Southern is easy. We got to put a Southern dialect on it. But it's an SUV in the American South, not here in Los Angeles, where I was living at the time, where people take SUVs and never actually go off-road. You know, they drive it in Beverly Hills, so an SUV in LA probably sounds like this.
Well, he was a Mercedes.
Well, my whole feeling about it was if you're an SUV in the American South, you're getting driven off-road, you get a lot of rocks thrown up into the undercarriage, so there's going to be some texture to it. So you know, we take a nice polite Southern dialect and layer on a little bit of texture to it. And howdy, ma'am, my name is X-Brawn. I'd love to help you. And so I'm walking out, and I look up into the control room, and they've got a freeze frame of Optimus Prime's face. I don't know if it was from the original or if it was from the new show. I just knew that it was Optimus Prime. And I grew up, I was about to graduate from high school when Transformers first came around. I watched it a little bit. I knew of it. I saw the movie. I never collected the toys. I never, was an Uber fan. And yet I still had Peter Cullen's voice in the back of my head ringing. And I went, I can do that. Can I read for that? And the director, and I'll never forget it, said, no, Neil, we've got plenty. Thank you. Don't worry about it. And I left. And I got a phone call a few days later. Neil, you know that thing you did for X-Brawn? The producers want to know if you can do that without the Southern dialect. And it's like, can I do a voice that I did minus a dialect that I layered on?
Of course you can.
Yeah, I think so. Why? Well, the producers think you sound like Optimus Prime, and they'd like to give you the role for the pilot, but they don't have the time to audition you, so if it doesn't work out, it's like, okay. So I recorded the pilot, not telling anybody that I worked on it. Because I had worked on stuff in the past where I told people, hey, look for this, and then it comes on the air and somebody else's voice comes out.
I hate that.
Or they cut the scene. It's like this episode of Brady Bunch. I couldn't remember if it's Peter or Cindy, but one of them, or Bobby or Cindy, but they go into a game show and they tell all their friends, and everybody turns on the TV and they're not on it. Somebody thinks they're lying, and then Bobby or Cindy, whichever one it is, thinks they're going through like a Twilight Zone moment. It ends up they tape the show a week in advance. So everybody thought they were a liar. And I never wanted that to happen. And I had this happen with one show called Tenko and the Guardians of the Magic. And I played Tad, the seismologist. And Tad would swim up to the top of the ocean, and he pulled off his mask and he opened his mouth, and some other actor's voice came out. It was because there was a problem with my mic line that they didn't find out about until later. Anyway, so I didn't tell anybody I was playing Optimus Prime. So it leaked out onto the internet. And at that point in time, I was probably best known for having worked on a show called Digimon and having played a character called Hawkman.
I remember.
Thank you. Hawkman is decidedly not an Optimus Prime type of voice, And so there were people panicked all over the world. And they went to the internet and they wrote, oh dear me, Optimus Prime is going to be played by that freak. And they did not say freak. They used a word that rhymes with bag. That guy, Hawkman, oh no!
And I've got the pictures here. I've got a picture of Optimus Prime with Hawkman on his shoulder, and I sign it because my phrase that I like to say is, Hawkman digivolve to Optimus Prime.
That's funny.
it was one of those things, Gary, where and people would say to me, "Didn't that upset you?" And it's like, no, I loved it because I knew what I was doing, and I knew it wasn't going to be anything like Hawkman, and so I was really happy with that. So, and I played Peter's roles at this point. I played Eeyore, which everybody knows. Eeyore is just simply a depressed Optimus Prime, right?
Yes, it is.
Basically.
Oh,
All right,
my.
Megatron, you can take over the world.
Nothing ever happens to me. It's all my fault.
If only I could find the Allspark.
Here we go. Transformers, if you want. Transform.
Autobots, roll out.
But they probably won't.
And scene.
Wow.
And I also played Venger in Dungeons and Dragons when they did the DVD. Yes, they did a final episode which tied up all the loose threads, and frankly, the producers couldn't afford Peter to come back, so they got Neil Kaplan, also known as in Hollywood as Budget Peter Cullen.
That's funny. But not true. You are just Peter Cullen, too.
No,
Not budget.
No. I am the Peter Cullen that will fit within your budget.
Well, there you go.
I'm okay with that. I do.
I'm
other things
okay.
too.
I'm too. Yeah, I am too. That's how it works.